So what are the types of feeds anyone can give or a farmer can give to the goats? If you have banana peelings, dry them for some time, then you apply and give to your goats. If you have maize bran, don't give too much. It depends on the quantity that you're going to give the goats. If you can access silage, please. If you can access hay, it is okay. We presume, or we know that a goat eats 3 kilos a day. So make sure you break down that silage, the hay, the banana peelings to a quantity of 3 kilos so that you can give to your goats. Don't pile and just, pile in the feeders that since you have a lot of feeds, then you just pile in. No, because we give them time for the processing of what they have eaten. So when they eat a lot, just like any other human being, if you eat too much, then you get complications and problems. Same applies to the animals. We normally know what quantity they have to eat. So besides that, I normally advise farmers, don't give cassava peelings to goats. There are those that get used to eating it, but it's not good. It's not all that good to goats. Others do give it to their goats, but me, I would advise that if you have these others, please, if they have not gone out for grazing, those are keeping on the zero grazing and the indoors like the Shenan, that is what we normally give them to. So basically, I would advise you, if you have access to that, provide your goats with that and administer the treatment that is required. If you don't do that, then you will have gone wrong with the goat farming. So besides the silage and hay as feeds for the goats, if you have enough land, you can as well plant your own maize. Because many of you ask me questions on how is it possible and what quantity should we give our goats when it comes to the maize brand. You don't have to necessarily give a lot of brand to the goats. You need to know the quantity of how many goats you're going to give brand and how much are they supposed to eat on a daily basis. Because if they consume, hey, 3 kilograms per goat, you don't have to give 3 kilograms again of what? Of maize brand. That will be too much for it. It cannot accommodate all that in the system. You will find that it will fall sick, and in most cases, many of them die. So that is why we don't have to give this maize to the goats, because it compiles in the body, and you find that the goat is started swelling and becoming bigger and bigger. Eventually it collapses, and then it will not, however much you want it to administer any treatment, it will not gain the strength back. Many of them die. So I would advise you, if you have got enough land, make the plantation of maize. You supplement on the other elephant grass, silage, and hay for the goats, but you must consider how much maize brand do you give your goats, and what ingredients have you put in the maize brand that are suitable for the goats. Don't put in too much salt again. Don't put in too much ingredients. So yeah, and the salt. You must consider each quantity on how many goats you're going to give. After removing this maize, then the left husks are supposed to be taken. Then you use them again for what? For silage and hay. You just dry them, like the system of using silage and hay. Then you keep them in a very good store. Then afterwards, you tie them together. Then you make your own bales. After drying, then you have to give them to our goats, and then they eat it. So many of you there who have been asking, is it possible to give maize? Is it possible to give brand? I normally advise don't give direct maize seeds to the goats. We have been visiting so many farmers out there that the goats which have collapsed, and when they try to, to slaughter them, the stomachs are full of maize, because when it goes in the stomach, the enzymes cannot manage, you know, processing that whole maize. That is why you find when goats enter in a plantation like this, they cannot survive for 3 to 4 days. Definitely, they will start collapsing one by one. And there's no treatment for that. If it consumes a lot of maize, you will find it will not eat, it will swell the stomach, it will start, with all disabilities of moving, it cannot. Then it eventually, all the morning, in the evening, you find one by one collapsing. So please, you must consider that also.